Welcome back to Good Vibration Therapy, the #1 podcast designed to raise your vibration to live a better life. Today, we're diving deep into a chapter from Jane St. Huberty's book, Magnetic Habits, called How to Become a Money Magnet. I absolutely love this book. It's all about cultivating those habits that attract abundance,
Yeah, it's a really fascinating premise, isn't it? Like becoming a magnet for money. Huberty, he doesn't just talk about the law of attraction, he really gets into the science behind it too.
Yeah, and he starts the chapter with this powerful image, you as a magnet, just effortlessly drawing money in. But how does that actually work? Is it really as simple as just like thinking positive thoughts?
Well, I think it's a bit more nuanced than that. Huberty argues that it's about aligning your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions to create this powerful force that draws money to you. It's like, think about it. If you're trying to attract wealth, but you're constantly worried about debt or being broke, your actions are probably going to sabotage your goals.
Oh, yeah, totally. You're sending mixed signals to the universe.
Exactly.
So it's about getting everything on the same page, working towards the same goal.
Yeah.
But how do you actually do that? I mean, sometimes those negative thoughts just pop up,
Yeah, they do. And that's where Huberty's magnetic habits come in. He outlines several practices that are designed to cultivate this abundance mindset. One that I think really stands out is what he calls money affirmations.
Okay, affirmations, I've heard of those. But aren't they just like repeating positive phrases to yourself?
Yeah, they are, but it goes deeper than just saying the words. It's about embodying the emotions of wealth, Imagine feeling the joy of financial freedom, the security of knowing that your needs are always met, or the excitement of being able to pursue your passions without having to worry about money.
Wow.
That's the energy you want to cultivate with affirmations.
So it's almost like tricking your brain, convincing yourself that you already have what you want. But how does that actually work?
Well, it's not so much tricking as it is training your brain. Huberty actually cites studies on neuroplasticity, which is the brain's ability to change, and form new neural pathways based on our thoughts and experiences.
Oh, wow.
So when you consistently focus on those thoughts and feelings of abundance, you're literally rewiring your brain to attract more of it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So by repeating affirmations and really feeling those emotions, we're actually changing our brain's structure to be more aligned with wealth.
Precisely. And another key habit that Huberty emphasizes is openness to receiving.
Oh, that's an interesting one. What does he mean by that?
It's about being comfortable accepting gifts, help, compliments, even money itself without feeling guilty or unworthy. It's about creating space for abundance to flow into your life.
That makes sense. But so many people struggle with this, right? They feel like they don't deserve good things.
Yeah.
Or they're afraid of being seen as greedy.
Yeah, it's a common block for sure. But Huberty argues that by resisting receiving, you're actually blocking the flow of abundance. You're sending the universe this message that you're not open to its gifts.
So how do we overcome that block? How do we become more receptive to abundance?
Well, I think it starts with recognizing and challenging those limiting beliefs, Why do you feel unworthy of receiving? Where did that belief come from? Once you can identify the root of the issue, you can start to reframe your thinking.
That's powerful. And once you start to feel more worthy of receiving, abundance can truly flow in. What's another one of these magnetic habits?
So this next one kind of shifts our perspective entirely. It's called the flow of money. And it's about changing how we view money altogether.
I'm intrigued. Tell me more about this flow.
So Huberty wants us to stop seeing money as this finite thing that we hoard and protect. He uses the analogy of water money is like a river. It's meant to flow freely. When we spend money, we're not losing it. We're sending it out into the world to circulate and eventually flow back to us in greater amounts.
So instead of clinging tightly to every dollar, we should be more open to letting it flow out and come back to us. That kind of goes against everything we've been taught about saving and budgeting.
Yeah, it is a different way of thinking about money for sure. But Huberty argues that this fear-based grip on money actually blocks abundance. It's like damming up a river. You might have a small pool of water, but it's stagnant and lifeless.
So by releasing our fear and allowing money to flow freely, we're creating a more dynamic and abundant financial ecosystem.
Exactly. It's about trusting that there's always more where that came from and being willing to let go of that scarcity mindset.
That's a powerful shift in perspective. So it's not just about attracting money, but also about changing our relationship with it.
Absolutely. And another key habit that supports this shift is daily visualization.
Oh, visualization. That's a big one in the law of attraction world, right?
It is, yeah. Huberty encourages us to spend a few minutes each day vividly imagining ourselves living our dream financial life.
Okay, but isn't that just wishful thinking? How does simply imagining something make it happen?
Well, it's more than just daydreaming. It's about tapping into the power of your subconscious mind. Remember those studies on neuroplasticity we talked about?
Right, where our brains change based on our thoughts and experiences.
Exactly. Your brain doesn't necessarily know the difference between a real experience and a vividly imagined one. So when you consistently visualize yourself living this life of abundance, you're essentially planting seeds in your subconscious mind, making it more likely to manifest in your reality.
Okay, that's starting to make sense. So it's not about passively wishing for something,
Yeah,
but actively imprinting that vision onto our subconscious mind.
precisely. It's about training your brain to recognize opportunities, make choices, and take actions that align with your vision.
So it's almost like setting an internal GPS for financial abundance.
I love that analogy. Yes, it's like giving your subconscious mind a clear destination and letting it guide you towards it. And speaking of taking action, Uberti doesn't just want us to sit back and visualize. He really emphasizes the importance of actually doing something.
Right, because just dreaming about $1 million isn't going to magically make it appear in your bank account.
Exactly. He calls this habit taking action now. It's about seizing those inspired ideas and turning them into reality.
So when you get that little nudge, that spark of inspiration about how to improve your finances, don't wait for the perfect moment.
No, take action, even if it's a small step. It could be researching investment options, finally setting up that budget spreadsheet you've been putting off, or even just brainstorming some side hustle ideas.
I love that he emphasizes taking action now, because I think so many people get stuck in analysis paralysis,
Yeah.
They overthink things and never actually take that first step.
Absolutely. And Uberti actually ties this back to the law of attraction, saying that when you take action, you're sending a signal to the universe that you're serious about your goals.
So it's like proving to the universe that you're not just wishing for abundance,
Yeah.
but actively working towards it.
Precisely. And the universe responds by bringing you more opportunities to create that abundance.
This is all starting to feel very interconnected, like all these habits work together to create this powerful force for attracting wealth.
They do. And speaking of interconnectedness, Uberti has this really intriguing chapter called Your Tongue is a Magic Wand.
Oh, that sounds interesting. What's that about?
It's all about the power of the language we use around money. He argues that our words create our reality. So if we're constantly saying things like, I'm broke or I can't afford that, we're actually reinforcing a mindset of scarcity.
So it's like you're programming your subconscious mind to believe that money is hard to come by, which then makes it even harder to attract.
Exactly. But what if we start using language that reflects abundance instead? What if we replace those scarcity phrases with empowering statements like, money flows to me effortlessly, or I am a money magnet?
It's like choosing to focus on the positive instead of dwelling on the negative. But does simply changing our language really make a difference?
Uberti believes it does. It's about consciously shifting our energy from lack to abundance, both internally and externally.
So it's not just about the words themselves, but about the feeling and intention behind them.
Yes, you have to believe in the words you're speaking. You have to embody that abundance mindset.
Okay, I'm starting to get the picture. So we've talked about affirmations, openness to receiving, the flow of money, visualization, taking action, and the power of language. Are there any other magnetic habits that Uberti recommends?
There are. And this next one is a powerful practice for shifting your energy and attracting more abundance. It's called the gratitude principle.
Gratitude, I've heard that's important, but how does it actually work in terms of attracting wealth?
So gratitude is a high-frequency emotion. When you focus on what you're grateful for, you're shifting your energy from lack to appreciation. And that opens the door for more good things to flow into your life, including financial abundance.
So it's not just about being thankful for what you have, but also about attracting more of it.
Exactly. And Uberti suggests taking a few moments each day to write down 3 things you're grateful for about your finances.
That sounds easy enough.
Yeah.
But do those things have to be big? Like winning the lottery or getting a huge promotion?
Not at all. You can be grateful for your paycheck, for your ability to save money, for the roof over your head, for the food on your table, even for a small, unexpected refund.
It's about finding the good in what you already have, no matter how small it may seem.
Precisely. And the more you practice gratitude, the more you'll start to notice the abundance that's already present in your life.
And as you become more aware of that abundance, you attract even more of it. It's a beautiful cycle.
It is. And this next habit kind of builds on that cycle by encouraging us to embrace a completely different perspective on money.
Okay, I'm ready for another perspective shift. What is it?
Uberti calls it celebrating your money. He suggests taking a moment to express gratitude every time you receive income, whether it's from your job, a side hustle, or even a gift.
So instead of just taking money for granted, we should actively celebrate it.
Exactly. It's about acknowledging its value and appreciating the role it plays in our lives.
And how do we actually celebrate it? Do we have to, throw a party every time we get paid?
It doesn't have to be a big production. It could be as simple as saying a silent thank you or visualizing that money being used for good.
I like that idea. So instead of just seeing money as a means to an end, we're recognizing its power and potential for creating positive change.
Precisely. And Uberti encourages us to take this a step further. By visualizing that money being used for something meaningful, whether it's supporting our loved ones, investing in our dreams, or giving back to the community.
So it's not just about attracting more money for ourselves, but about using it as a force for good in the world.
Absolutely. It's about aligning our financial goals with our values and creating a ripple effect of abundance that extends beyond ourselves.
I love that idea. It takes the focus off of just accumulating wealth and shifts it towards using that wealth to make a positive impact.
Exactly. And that brings us to another important magnetic habit, paying attention to your money mindset.
Oh, mindset. That seems to be a recurring theme here. Why is it so important?
Because our thoughts create our reality, right? If we're constantly thinking negative thoughts about money, we're literally attracting more financial challenges into our lives. But if we can shift our thinking to focus on abundance and possibility, we can create a completely different experience.
So it's not just about changing our actions, but also about changing the underlying beliefs that drive those actions.
Precisely. Uberti encourages us to be mindful of those negative thoughts that creep in and consciously replace them with empowering beliefs.
So for example, instead of thinking, I'll never be able to afford that, we might shift to, I'm open to receiving the abundance to make that happen.
Exactly. It's about choosing to focus on what's possible instead of dwelling on what's lacking.
It's like choosing a different radio station.
Yeah.
You can tune into the station of fear and scarcity, or you can choose the station of abundance and prosperity.
I love that analogy. It's a powerful reminder that we have the power to choose our thoughts and therefore shape our reality.
And speaking of shaping our reality, I'm curious to hear more about how Uberti ties all these magnetic habits together. Does he offer any specific guidance on how to implement them in our lives?
He does. He actually provides a step-by-step roadmap for cultivating these habits and creating a life of financial abundance.
Okay, I'm all ears. Tell me more about this roadmap.
Well, he starts by emphasizing the importance of setting clear financial goals.
Right, because you need to know what you're aiming for before you can start attracting it.
Yeah.
But how specific do those goals need to be?
Uberti recommends getting crystal clear about the amount of money you want to attract, the time frame in which you want to attract it, and what you plan to do with that money once you have it.
So it's not just about saying, I want to be rich, but about defining exactly what rich means to you and how you plan to use that wealth.
Exactly. The clearer your vision, the easier it will be for the universe to deliver.
That makes sense. So once you have your goals clearly defined, what's next?
Next, Uberti encourages us to listen to our intuition, to pay attention to those little nudges and sparks of inspiration that guide us towards our goals.
So it's about trusting that inner voice and being willing to take action even when you're not sure where it will lead.
Exactly. Sometimes the path unfolds as you go, but the important thing is to keep moving forward.
That can be scary for some people, but I guess it's also incredibly exciting to think that you can create your own destiny.
It is. And Uberti also emphasizes the importance of surrounding yourself with supportive people, people who believe in your dreams and encourage your growth.
Oh, that's so important. Because if you're constantly around people who are negative or doubtful, it's hard to stay motivated and focused on your goals.
Absolutely. Uberti encourages us to seek out mentors, coaches, or mastermind groups where we can connect with like-minded individuals who are also on a path of abundance.
So it's about creating a positive and supportive environment where you can thrive.
It is. And Uberti wraps up this chapter by reminding us that becoming a money magnet is not about chasing after money, but about aligning ourselves with the frequency of abundance.
It's about embodying the energy of wealth and allowing it to flow into our lives effortlessly.
Precisely. And when we shift our mindset from scarcity to abundance, everything changes.
It really is a holistic approach to wealth creation. It's not just about, thinking positive and getting rich. It's about aligning your whole being, your thoughts, your feelings, your actions with the frequency of abundance.
Yeah, and that's what makes it so powerful. It's not like a quick fix or anything. It's a lifestyle shift. But when you embrace these habits, you're essentially rewiring your brain for success.
So for our listeners out there, what do you think is the biggest takeaway from this chapter? What's like the one thing they should really focus on if they want to become a money magnet?
That's a good question. I think the most important thing is to understand that you are already a money magnet. You have the power within you to attract abundance into your life, but you have to believe it, you have to feel it, and you have to act on it.
It's about claiming your power as a creator of your own reality. That can be incredibly empowering.
Absolutely. When you realize that you have the ability to shape your own financial destiny, it really opens up a world of possibilities.
So any final thoughts for our listeners as they embark on this journey of becoming a money magnet?
I would say start with the habit that resonates most with you. Maybe it's affirmations, maybe it's visualization, maybe it's gratitude. Just pick one and commit to practicing it daily.
And be patient with yourself. It takes time to reprogram your subconscious mind and develop new habits. But if you're consistent and you stay committed to your vision, you will see results.
And don't forget to celebrate your successes along the way. Even the small wins are worth acknowledging.
Absolutely. Celebrating those wins helps to reinforce the positive energy around money and attract even more abundance.
Yeah, it's like a beautiful cycle.
Well, this has been an incredible deep dive into becoming a money magnet. Thank you so much for sharing your insights with us.
It's been my pleasure.
And for our listeners, we hope this has inspired you to start cultivating your own magnetic habits. Remember, abundance is your birthright. It's time to claim it. And if you want to keep those good vibes flowing, make sure to follow the show and share with your friends.
And if you're ready to dive even deeper, Uberti goes on to discuss how to feel rich now in the next chapter. He explores how to magnify that sense of wealth and attract even more abundance into your life.
That sounds like a great place to pick up next time. Until then, keep those vibes high. And we'll see you back here for another deep dive on good vibration therapy.
And I believe it's coming to me now.